So you want to build some acoustic panels for your studio. Stay tuned, I'm going to show you how. Alright, the tools you'll need will be a straight edge of some sort, a tape measure, a speed square, an electric drill or two to make the job a little easier. You're going to need some wood bits to drill your pilot holes. You're also going to need some wood glue. I actually didn't use the wood glue here. You're also going to need some screws, some L brackets to hang the panel, an electric staple gun, some staples, and plenty of those, and a pencil. And you'll also need wood and some acoustic material. First, take a measurement of where the panel will be hung. I kind of just roughly measure by putting the two boards up against the panel and just moving it over and making a mark. After I get my measurements, grab my speed square and make a better mark. So this is where we will cut the wood. And since it's a custom size panel, I'm going to measure out on the panel make a mark, make a mark on the other side, then grab your straight edge, mark with a pencil, just enough where you can see it. And this is the fun part. And I should probably be wearing gloves at this point because this stuff is itchy. It's just mineral wool, it's not fiberglass, but it still gets a little itchy. Discard the leftover piece, and now double check your measurements. Everything looks good. Next thing you want to do is cut your wood to size. Oh yes, and you should definitely be wearing safety glasses for this as well. After you get your wood cut, it's time to set it up and drill some pilot holes. You always want to do this because if you don't, your wood is most likely going to crack on the ends. Now that I've got my pilot holes set, this is where I put the screws in. And do the same for the other side. Same thing for this side. Drill the pilot holes, then put the screws in. I actually didn't use wood glue because it was unavailable to me. My fiance had to borrow it, so. But it's sturdy enough, I didn't even need wood glue. Now that you got your panel built, it's time to build some kind of backing for it. I just found some scrap wood I had laying around, and I'm just gonna make a 45-degree cut. Mark it out and cut it. This is going to be an open back design panel, so it's not completely sealed off. You're not going to be able to see it on the back side anyway. So I just take the piece I cut and just copy that, make another piece and cut. Now that that's done, it's time to install the backing. And this will also help straighten up the panel too, since it's an exact 45-degree angle. Excuse me, straighten up the frame. And remember to drill your pilot holes and put the screws in. Now do the same for the other side. And there you go, you've got your frame finished. Now it's time to lay out the burlap. I got this burlap pretty cheap from fabric.com. I've got a red theme in my studio, so obviously I went with the Sultana red burlap. Laying out the frame over the burlap and then flipping it over to see how much I need to cut off. You need to leave yourself enough where you can get a hold of it and pull it tight. Once you found that, just make your cut and try to be as straight as possible. Now it's time to set in the acoustic panel. Press it in firmly. Since it's a 4-inch panel, I cut 2 pieces of this to the same size to make it 4 inches thick, and do the same with the second. You want a nice snug fit here too. And once you're done, flip the panel over. And this is where we start the stapling. Kind of just want to grab one side, kind of start in the middle. I like to start in the middle and work my way out. Just put a few in. You don't have to pull it super tight here, but just get it stapled on enough where you can really pull it from the other side. Here I'm doing the other side. Now the sides of the panel, making sure I pull it nice and snug, but not too snug, just enough to get the wrinkles out. Always leave the corners for last. So here in the corner, I just pull, work my way to the corner, tuck it, fold it nice and neat over the top, and I like to put extra staples in on this side since there's a lot of tension on it. See, it's not going anywhere. Now it's time to cut the slack. And I'm not being too precise here about this since this is going to be up against the door. You're not even going to see those pieces. Nice and clean. Now flip your panel over and inspect your work. Ta-da! Thumbs up. Time to install the panel. Here's the hanger I'm using since I'm installing it on top of my studio door in the back. So you want to drill some pilot holes in this, just a little, nothing too big. And just screw it right into the back of the panel. Once that's finished, it's time to hang it. So grab your ladder, something to stand on. Just hang it right on the door, just right on the top. Check for clearance. Once you've got the panel centered in the door, install the last 4 screws. And there it is, your DIY acoustic panel. Thanks for watching.